remember Ty Lopez on a podcast saying 70% or 75% of self-made millionaires that didn't come from generational wealth all had a sales background, and I can't remember the percentage of them that has actually got door-to-door sales experience, but it was high.
Overwhelming majority, yeah.
Yep.
Started on the doors. When you've got a team of 3 guys here, this guy stud when it comes to closing and direct sales, personal branding specialist, appointment setting and online sales specialist. When you have those 3 skill sets together, and we're competing against one guy that just knows how to do one thing really, really well. He's got his ego there. He doesn't feel like he needs any more people around him because he thinks, oh yeah, I'm great at this one skill, I'm making this money. There's hungry guys out there that are diversifying their skills. They've got a team full of specialists in different industries. He's never going to be able to compete with us, no matter how good he is at that one thing, just because of the diversity of skills and the mindset of 3 minds coming together. Yeah, we're going to crush that.
It's a mastermind, essentially. And I feel like the online space is amazing because if it wasn't for that, it would not have put me in positions where I can connect with you guys.
This whole room is built off personal branding.
Literally. Your environment is everything. You create your own environment. You're most likely not going to find those people like how we know each other now in your hometown or wherever you were brought up.
Everyone wants to do well. Success doesn't have to mean like fast cars, hot girls, flying, traveling wherever you want. It can just be like living comfortably and living happy and being able to do things for your loved ones, your family, your friends.
So boys, today we are doing a little 3-man, little podcast sort of thing. I've got two guys. Let's go now. Let's start now. You do the introduction though, you're good at this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jerove, the only Jerove in the world. Google it. And today we have the dream team. So it's going to be an open conversation mainly about sales, business, mindset. And I'm very grateful to have this close unit because if it wasn't for this unit, I probably won't be in the position I'm in and directed into right now. So yeah, pleasure to be here, boys, and looking forward to our chat.
You too, bro. We've got 3 very high-level guys here. And us 3, we're a partnership where we've all come together, we've all got different backgrounds, different expertise, and we all know the goals that we're pushing for, and they align perfectly. We can all help each other. So us 3, we'll all go around and introduce ourselves. But us 3, you're going to see the moves that we're going to be making over the next 5 years, and we're going to take over this market.
Over the next decade.
Yeah.
Honestly, man, it is pretty crazy how all of our connections and skill set intertwine somehow.
Synergy.
You know?
It's mad, isn't it?
So,
And we'll get onto how we actually met each other, and it's all completely just fate. God put all 3 of us in this room right now. So let's just go around and introduce ourselves then.
So I'm Roel Mojico. I am a consultant in the direct sales and marketing space. I help train sales reps, recruiters, business owners, and I've also ventured into the high-ticket closing space, building sales teams and creating funnels.
And what have you been able to do for your clients, Roel?
Generated £438.3 million since 2020, but we need to check that on again.
Probably more.
That was like literally 2 months ago.
Yeah, it's definitely gone up.
Done a few mills.
Yeah.
Couple
M's.
Done quite a few mills.
Run it up.
Run it up, run it up. But yeah, as you know, my name is Jerove, the only Jerove in the world. Google it. I run a personal branding and content creation agency that specializes in helping 7- and 8-figure business owners help them scale their personal brand in their business. And I also have LeveragedCreators, which is my community where I help people turn their passion into profit and tap into the creator economy. Because according to Goldman Sachs, the creator economy is worth $250 billion. It's set to double by 2027. And it just goes to show the competition is going to increase. And now is the best time to really tap in, establish yourself, and make your digital footprint.
So my name is Temi Lowery, owner of Alpha Setters. I've been in the door-to-door space, I've been in the direct sales, and over the past 3 years, I've just been going hard in DM appointment setting, taking advantage of this creator economy for myself, but just as a sales rep, I've just been selling. So I own Alpha Setters, which is an appointment setting agency and hiring pool, where I train setters, set them up with business owners that are looking to scale, and just manage sales teams. Got a lot of plans to go into maybe direct sales again. I've got loads of projects that I'm working on, but right now everything I do is completely in the online space. And I'm building my personal brand.
Let's get it.
We're all building our personal brands.
Let's go. And why don't you do your introduction the same way when a random person asks you, what do you do?
I don't know. You know what?
You do know.
I think what it is is because whenever I get asked in Nottingham by like someone at my boxing gym or something, I just can't be bothered to explain. To be honest.
I feel that, man. Whenever someone asks me what I do, I just say I do sales. That's it, man. It's just, I'd rather under promote and over deliver.
Yeah, I hear that. But what I was trying to get you to say was, you always say boxing champion, leader of men.
Boxing champion and leader of men. I don't say that to normal people. I'll only say that if it's like an entrepreneur and I can have a joke and then I can explain what I actually.
You said
do
it to that girl.
Yeah.
The networking event.
That was at a business networking event.
Fair.
But it's like if I'm like in Nottingham, because everything I do is online as well, online sales, online business, explaining to someone how you make money online when they're not in that world and they can't even comprehend making money online, it's just a pain in the arse, really. Yeah. Explaining, okay, you know what? Yeah, I make money online, and then they want, how do you do that? Million questions.
Yeah.
Do you not get that?
No, I feel that I just say I make content, or I'm in social media marketing. But like I said, networking events, you have to have your elevator pitch because first impressions count. We were literally talking about this earlier on, and you have a split second to make a good impression on someone because they might know someone that can benefit you. And you can provide them. And I always say you should be of service and provide value before taking anything. Well, the first topic I wanted to go through is the fact that there are three of us right here who have run somewhat successful businesses, and there is one common denominator, and that is the art of sales. And we have pretty much the grandmaster of sales in our presence right now. So how is sales so important? And how did you get into it?
Sales is, again, the bloodline of every business. Every business needs sales. Every business needs more customers. Every business needs money. All of that is all funneled in through sales. So without sales, there's no business. And again, if you can understand how to sell, how to train people to sell, how to recruit people to sell, how to manage salespeople, you're always going to be valuable in the marketplace because every business needs it. So I got into sales 10 years ago, in direct sales, doing in-person sales, pop-up events, door-to-door. And it wasn't the easiest, to most people, but I found it very rewarding with the challenges that came about on a day-to-day basis. And it wasn't the most conventional way to get into sales, to be honest, because I never applied. I didn't even realise that in-person sales existed. I heard of door-to-door sales before, but I didn't think it was in the UK, to be honest. I thought that it was just like a US thing.
Yeah, just in America.
Do you think that?
I kind of hear that, yeah.
I didn't even know about door-to-door sales when I got into it.
Yeah, I'd heard of door-to-door sales before, but I'm pretty confident that I'd only thought that people did it in the US. I'd never seen anyone knock a door. I'd seen people on like pop-up events.
Yeah, like the charity subscriptions.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I'd never seen anyone. I think my mum signed up to like Talk on the street, and that's the only time I'd seen someone do in-person sales.
Mad.
So yeah, I'd never had anyone knock on my door and try and pitch me.
Neither.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I find mad, considering how many door-to-door sales guys there is actually out there in the field. There's hundreds of them, and
there's like thousands, man.
When I was doing door-to-door sales, I'd be knocking the same houses multiple times.
Yeah.
And I find it mad that no one's knocked on my door.
Yeah. And you know what? There's like the majority of these blue chip companies, they all have door-to-door sales teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So, yeah, someone's definitely. I don't know. Maybe I just didn't have a focus on it, but I'd never seen anyone do door-to-door sales. So when I first started in this industry, it was pretty strange to me. I didn't even realize it existed. I actually applied for a marketing company, so I thought it was like online or like creating adverts and stuff, something creative anyway. Yeah. Didn't realize that it was knocking on doors or speaking to people on the street.
That's
when people rope you into door-to-door sales, they really put a load of fancy ribbons on it, don't they? They really try and make it sound special. And then you get there, and it's like, oh, I'm going door to door. But the thing is like even though they they make it sound like some like amazing job role, and you get there and it can be kind of like underwhelming. Like, oh shit, like we're in this really beat down office right now, and what, we're gonna go knocking doors all day.
Yeah.
But then it's crazy because even just knocking doors and going door to door, you'd think that's quite like a low income job. That's like bottom of the barrel job. But then it turns out, oh, mad, you can earn 20 grand a month from knocking on doors. And then you're introduced into this whole new world of commissions.
Sure.
And that's what ropes us in. And that's why we're all here. We've all done door-to-door sales. And now we all see the vision of sales.
At the end of the day, man, you have to also understand that why would you do door-to-door sales and go through some of the shit that you go through on a day-to-day basis to not get paid well?
I mean, that was me.
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but no, so it's not that you got paid. It's all about learning something new, okay, and upskilling.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be some sort of value there. Otherwise, why would you do it?
And the bottom line is, that the skills that you learn from knocking door to door, even if you're doing it for free, the ROI is definitely there because the value is there in just learning the skills, right?
Yeah, sure. And when I have kids, I'm gonna make them do door to door.
That's a shout. I never even thought about that, but you are so right.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like the skill that you learn, the type of person you become, how you deal with shit and rejection, it's all it's the day-to-day mechanics of being good at door-to-door sales.
Do you boys have this now that you've been entrepreneurs? Now that you've been in the field doing sales, when life throws some BS your way, it's like, I've done door-to-door sales, mate. This is nothing. This is nothing.
No, you just don't think of it. Like,
life can't phase you.
Exactly. The problems are never that bad. I think door-to-door sales teaches you that everything is within your control. Okay, and even if there are things that you can't control it anyway, so you don't put focus on it.
Just focus on what you can control.
So how did you both get into sales?
I mean, for me personally, my first sales experience was being in VIP hospitality whilst at university, because I was not networking. I was serving like wealthy individuals and celebrities. My first ever job, because I needed money. I was broke at uni, and it just taught me my sales skills, because you have to be able to
approach and speak to people.
and be well spoken. But fast forward to when I started the agency. My first Facebook ads agency, I thought I was a shit, making like 5K a month. But then I lost everything, and that's when I got into door-to-door sales. So after tasting, making okay money as a uni student, to losing everything and then going to door-to-door sales, after tasting online money, I hated it. Because I know that you two had the time of your lives. I mean, you're still in the industry. You had the time of your life.
Yeah, you want to go back.
Yeah, you're actually going to, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will.
It's crazy.
But you started a marketing agency first, and then you got into sales after you lost it all.
Yeah, and then I became a setter and then a closer. It's crazy.
You got into door-to-door, then you went to a setting position, then you went to a closing position, and then after going through that period, you was making 5K a month before that. Then you learned sales in all of these different spaces, and then after you came out of the other end of sales, you started printing a ridiculous amount of cash. So it just shows that genuinely there is nothing more important to learn as an entrepreneur than sales.
100%. Because like when I was knocking on doors, I knew that I was going to make it out, which is why I recorded myself. Like the me being on the field and me not liking what I was doing. But it was character building. I'm so glad it happened to me. It humbled me, and it also built my confidence. Because if you're getting hundreds of doors slammed in your face and getting rejected hundreds of times, it numbs you and it sets the new barrier of pain. And in business, you need to sacrifice so much. And there's that quote that we heard, and it is, if you aren't prepared to sacrifice for your dream becomes a sacrifice.
Sure.
Right. But that's a long story short of how I got into sales. So started agency, so naturally good at talking to people, door-to-door sales, and then I didn't actually enjoy it, so I didn't do the best because I left after like 3 weeks, and then became a setter for a little bit. Sales closer, I loved that. It was so good. All I did was just close deals, and I was end-to-end appointment setting as well, managing SDRs for an e-com agency, and then use all these skills to then set up my business foundations to scale the personal branding and content creation agency that I'm still running right now. So, yeah. What about yourself, man? How did you get into it?
Super, super random. The most random thing ever how I got into sales is I was with one of my friends, Trappo, his name was, and was in the smoking area of Victoria Shopping Centre in Nottingham.
Oh, yeah.
And he needed a lighter. He went up to this girl and was like, "Oh, can I borrow your lighter, please?" She's like, yeah, sure. We started talking to this girl, and she works in recruitment for door-to-door sales. So he was like, "Oh, yeah, we do this like marketing thing. Like, yeah, you guys should come in for an interview. I think you'd be really good. You're really good at talking to people." I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that sounds cool, Mark. Yeah, I'm 17 years old. That sounds like a cool word."
Did you listen to her because she was good looking?
No, she's fat. So no.
Fair enough.
No, she's fat. But we went into an interview. Trapper went into an interview the first day. He got the job. And he made his first commission on that day. And he was like, "Mate, this is great. We're going door to door." And I was like, "Door to door?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, but bro, it's so fun. And I've already made money." I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'll go into the interview the next day. He told the boss about me. I go in for my interview, and it's this fat Irish guy. He's got 4 platinum teeth, a snapback cap on with his suit. Looks like the dodgiest person ever. I walk into my interview, and he's like, "You're the fighter, innit?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Take off your jacket." I take off my blazer, and he just starts shadowboxing me. He just starts pretending to punch me. So we was literally just shadowboxing for 2 minutes. He sits down. "Yeah, you've got the job. You're a fighter. I know you're going to fight for me. Let's do it." And that was the start of my door-to-door sales, and I was hooked instantly. Even that moment of just shadowboxing in the office, I was like, "This is different."
Do you know what's crazy? You look at that as a really good experience, okay? But the average person would look at that and think, "What the fuck? This is so weird. This is so strange."
That's how I would have been, not gonna lie.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't know how I would have dealt with just some random bloke just like shadowboxing me. I would have thought it was funny anyway.
Yeah.
I'm just an optimistic yes with a lot of things. So I probably wouldn't, and if I was 17, I probably wouldn't have thought too much into it. I just thought I would have just wanted to make money anyway. But the average person would, like, how long ago was this? 2019?
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Yeah, 5 years ago, right? So if that happened now in an interview process and somebody didn't enjoy it, they would literally just post it all over online.
And go on to the news.
Yeah. Or like post a TikTok about it, about how unprofessional it is, and it's pretty laughable actually.
It is very laughable.
Yeah. But that was the catalyst that set you up to where you are now, right?
I loved it, but it's one of those things where some people love it and some people hate it, and that's why in our office people would come in and they wouldn't come back after an interview. "Oh yeah, I've got the job." They wouldn't feel comfortable saying, "No, I don't want to do this." So they would work the first day with full intentions of not coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, sure.
But in door-to-door sales in an industry like this, there is so many people that come in. There's a very high churn rate because
the highest churn rate ever.
It's not for everyone.
Yeah, of course.
It super resonated with me. I loved it. I was like, I found my thing after that.
You know what? It's so funny. So we posted a video on my YouTube a few weeks ago, and some guy was like, "Oh, that's laughable that you're talking about."
That Instagram reel. Yeah.
What was it? It's laughable.
It was the guy that he joined a company at 17, and when he was 100 years old, he was the Guinness World Record for the longest person that stayed in a job.
Oh, no, that was it. So he was talking about how it's laughable that I'm talking about job satisfaction because apparently my industry, okay, has the highest churn rate, okay, out of any sales role. And I was like, it's not just my industry, it's in every sales role, okay? Door to door specifically has a high churn rate. And the reason why is because we recruit the wrong people. But you never know who's going to be good until they start, you know? Like I've had people before that seem like they're extremely shy and unconfident, and they go in the field and talk to people door to door, and for some reason this beacon of light just shines upon them, and they just become some absolute don.
I genuinely think that was me.
Really?
Genuinely think that was me. I was very shy and awkward. I think the shadow boxing, like, it made me comfortable.
Yeah.
It made me like, oh, I'm at home here. Like, I can be myself here. Like, I didn't really like opening up to people.
Yeah.
And then I think that fundamentally changed who I am as a person from literally just the first month of door-to-door sales.
Did you have this feeling as well? I know that I did. I don't know whether you can relate. I know that you didn't stick around in door-to-door long enough to feel this, but I had this feeling that every time that somebody started and they quit, I thought in my head, I was like, that's another person that can't do what I do.
I've never thought about it like that.
Did you ever think that?
I've never.
Maybe
thought
it
about
was
it
just
like that.
an angle or a way for me to make myself feel better because I wanted to see the positive in what I was doing.
It's a good perspective.
But I used to think that's just another person that has tried and
But-
trialed
yeah.
and to do what I've done and has failed. And I there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, as I said to you guys, we've spoken about throughout the whole week. Like, there's nothing wrong with failing as long as you're failing forward. But that's just another person that's tried to do something that I've achieved.
Definitely. That's one thing I noticed about you. Perception is reality, and anything that happens to anyone in life, you could either be having a victim mentality, or you could take ownership and see a bad thing, quote unquote, and fail forward and improve and be the better version of yourself. So yeah, that's a big thing. That's a good trait that I'd say successful entrepreneurs have, because there's a statistic where I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I remember Ty Lopez on a podcast saying 70% or 75% of self-made millionaires that didn't come from generational wealth all had a sales background, and I can't remember the percentage of them that has actually got door-to-door sales experience, but it was high.
Overwhelming majority, yeah.
Yeah.
Started on the doors.
It's crazy.
That is pretty nuts, isn't it?
It's mad. And you are in that industry, and we've gone through that industry.
It's funny because we talk about that in all of our meetings all the time. I didn't actually know all the stats, to be fair, but
Yeah.
I assume that there is quite a lot. And even people that I've met in the online space, even people that I've seen that have had success outside of the online space, that are now, like, one of my boys, we're in Liverpool right now, and he runs an investment group, okay, that finds investment for off-plan properties across Liverpool. One of that building there, actually in front of us, that's what he gets investors for, people to go into to buy flats before that's even built.
Pre-sold. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he started, and he's absolutely killing it now. Do you know what I mean? He started on door-to-door sales. It's mad.
The thing is, we literally can look at the data and, like, logically, as we're having this conversation, to say that so many millionaires, overwhelming majority of millionaires, start in sales. So logically, like, if I was watching this video right now, I'd be like, oh, I need to go and get in sales then, because I've got all of these goals that I want to achieve far away in the future, and I know that all of the people that have done that before me started in sales. So me watching this video, I'd be like, okay, I need to get in sales. But there's this mindset nowadays where everyone just wants to take shortcuts and not build that foundation. But genuinely, do you boys think you'd be sat here in this room right now at the level that you're at if you didn't develop that skill of sales? Probably not. So it's kind of like, okay, if you're watching this video and you've got no sales skills, we need some urgency.
Success
Go
leaves
start,
clues.
Yeah, start learning sales.
Also, in addition to that, most people want to do well. Like, there's no one that I know that wants to choose to not be successful, or everyone wants to do well. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they might not express it, they might not show it, okay, but in the back of people's heads, they're thinking, I would want to do well. They don't have to. Success doesn't have to mean like fast cars, hot girls, like flying, traveling wherever you want. It can just be like living comfortably and living happy and being able to do things for your loved ones, your family, your friends. Does that make sense? Like, it doesn't have to be like materialistic stuff. It could just be like comfort and happiness for the fulfillment, right? But if you want that and you don't have a great idea, you're not super smart, okay, you have that desire and you don't know what the fuck to do, then just get into sales.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and you're either going to learn that you're really good at sales, or you're going to learn that you can add value somewhere in sales. Because whether you're a salesperson, like, people have come into my company before and they weren't that great at sales, okay? However, they were really good at like back-end operations. So now they're still in sales, but they're in the infrastructure in sales, and there's a demand there. You know, if you're in the sales industry, you'll never not have a job.
Facts. I've got a really interesting question for you boys, actually. before you got into sales, what is it that you wanted to do with your life? Like, did you have a set career that you thought you was going to go down, or did you guys just know that you was going to get into sales?
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't know I was going to get sales. Legit, I was speaking about this with Jerome yesterday, and I wanted to study art. You know,
Okay.
art, I was going to study art, that was it. I was really into drawing, I was really into just aesthetics, things that look nice. I was just into that. Not sure why.
You're a creative person.
Creative dude, yeah. And that was where I thought my strengths were played. Like, that's where my strengths played. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of my strengths. But then I realised as I've grown up, when I was younger, I've always been like a relatively social person. I wouldn't say that I was like super outgoing or the alpha guy or outspoken or talked within the group. I was never the person that like led the group, okay? However, I liked chatting to people and I liked networking, speaking to new people and learning from people. And the older that I've got, the more that I've realised that my personality type and also the type of person I am literally is made for sales.
Yeah.
Or made for the direct sales industry, even though like was my goal and my dream to be like a direct sales business owner or a consultant, definitely not, but it somehow slotted me in that direction. What about you?
I found you. Yeah. But for myself, I mean, I'm Filipino. We're Filipino. The starter pack as a Filipino when it comes to careers is nurse, doctor if you're super smart, cleaner, caretaker, nanny, that kind of stereotypical stuff, right? And for me, obviously my parents were both nurses. They came to the UK when I was 3, and they came here for a better life. So they always ingrained in me since a child, like, hey, study hard, get good grades, and get a good job. So the first career path I was going to take, I remember, I mean, we all had a dream of like being an athlete. For me, I wanted to be a footballer, but
yeah, of course.
I mean, it's not really going to happen. And
Shoulders are too broad, bro.
yeah, too bolo. But the second one was, all right, cool. I want to be a dentist because my parents planted the seed in my mind, like, oh, dentists get paid very well, and it's the most relaxed, well, one of the most relaxed occupations as a doctor because you're in a clinic, it's nothing too stressful.
Don't they have like really high suicide rates?
Do they?
Dentist?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe I've heard that from somewhere, but that's what I heard.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I might have just been
Yeah.
plucked out of nowhere, but I've definitely heard something along those lines.
Fair enough. But yeah, like at one point, dentistry. And then when I got to college, that's when I went down the economics route because we had a close family friend who was, I think she was around 8 years older than me. And she went down the economics route, and then she actually went uni here in Liverpool, and she's making very good money as she was like a data analyst or like in hedge funds. Now she's in hedge funds and she's doing very well. So I looked at her as a role model, and my parents were like, oh, be like Auntie Nicole because she's successful. So you only know what you know. You don't know what you don't know. So I only knew economics would be a good path, and someone has led by example by already going down that route. So success leaves clues. And then when I got to uni, that's when the pandemic hit, and then I got exposed to the online, make money online space. And then that's when I found SMMA, social media marketing. And then it just new things that you discover. And this is why a lot of people suffer from shiny object syndrome. But you should.
So many opportunities.
There's so many opportunities. But once you find the one that is the right fit for you, you have to lock in. But that's how I went and progressed. Like even every couple months, I'm thinking like, oh, there's a new opportunity here. But I remind myself I've already found something established. But
It's important to say no, isn't it?
the power of no is huge. But yeah,
The thing is though, I think people have the shiny object syndrome too early on in their career. Does that make sense? So or too early on in the level they're at. So I believe that you can have shiny object syndrome once you've already succeeded in something. Does that make sense? Then you can start diversifying and seeing other opportunities. But the thing is, the reason why I believe that you would have a lot more confidence to try something new is because if you've achieved high level performance in one thing, it's the same formula in another thing, you know. However, what happens to a lot of people is they start in level 1 and they're very excited. They have a dream. They're like, yes, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna achieve this, and then they go through like certain obstacles and challenges, and then it throws them off direction, and then they forget that level of excitement or the ideas and the dreams they had, which means they look for another avenue, and then it's another shiny object syndrome here, which means they start on level 1 again, and then what happens is, because they've already quit something before, it's easy to quit again and again and again and again. So that's why some people are ambitious and have desires, but they're always going around in circles, and then they just get. That's why I believe some people get burnt out, because they keep on trying something new, and keep on going backwards, and then they lose self-belief because they never actually get past just fucking finding a way to make it happen and win.
Yeah.
Like, you can become successful in absolutely any industry. I believe that. There's so many opportunities, and it is fucking scary that there's so many ways to make money.
Yeah.
However, you have to lock in, and you have to be able to overcome those early obstacles to gain the confidence to know that you can tackle other obstacles, bigger fish.
There's always bigger fish to fry.
And you know, in the next thing that you do, that okay, these are the obstacles, and you already know that you've got to get through those obstacles because you've done it before.
That's it.
I've got a really interesting story from one of my students who's actually one of my top performing appointment setters right now, and he was sticking at it for like 6 months, and he was working hard, but he just couldn't find the right opportunity to get him to where he wanted to be at.
Yeah.
And he messaged me like, "Hey bro, you know, I'm thinking about getting into TikTok automation. Like, what's your thoughts on that?" And I was like, "Bro, we've worked so hard. Don't get distracted. Just stay focused." And I sent him the video from The Matrix about the woman in the red dress. A distraction created to take you away from your full potential. It's a test.
Yeah.
Are you going to stick at it, or are you literally going to quit right before you hit the sweet spot? Had that conversation with him. The next week, up until this point, the most he'd ever made in like a week was maybe 200, 300 quid. The very next week, he made his first $2,000 a week in commissions, all because we had that conversation and he sticked at it. Literally, the very next week, he made $2,000.
That's unreal.
If he'd quit then, that wouldn't have been on the table, and now he's crushing it. But it's literally about recognizing there's another opportunity, but I'm going to sit on my hands, and I'm going to stay true to the path that I've selected for myself.
Amazing. But yeah, I wanted you to kind of share, what did you envision as a child?
Literally, I was always clueless. Literally, I had no idea what direction my life was going to go. I was a sweat in school, apart from I lost that in the last few years, because I just lost interest in it altogether. And I literally just disregarded school from that point. I just couldn't be bothered. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. Genuinely was just lost.
Yeah, sure.
I was at college just for the sake of being at college, because my mum told me I had to. And then that's when I happened to stumble into this fat girl who offered me a job in door-to-door sales. And then, oh look, my life has changed forever because I met some fat girl at a smoking area. And I found my thing in that moment. As soon as I got into sales, I was like,
this is the one.
This is my thing.
Yeah, sure. What are your, it's off topic, okay, what are your thoughts and ideas about people that like self-sabotage? You know, I know a lot of people, okay, especially in sales actually, that go from zero and start making fairly good money. Like, let's say they go from making like £300-400 a week to making $2 to $3 to $4 to $5 grand a week and onwards. And some people are really young. They're like, I don't know, 20, 21, 22. And some people just still live paycheck to paycheck and don't maximize that earning potential, and they get comfortable in that position and then they start going backwards. What do you think? Why do you think that is?
I think there's two scenarios. There's the first type of person that gets a little bit too big for his boots, and he forgets the things that got him to the position that he was in the first place. The learning, the long hours, the reviewing the sales calls, and just really ruthlessly trying to work hard. And then all of a sudden thinking, okay, I'm the guy now, I'm doing all this money. And then they fall off because they forget the inputs that got them there.
Yeah, sure.
And then there's a second type of guy where they are doing really well and they've almost got this limiting belief inside of them, this fear of being too successful that's holding them back. And I think that comes from their environment, to be honest. Because if all your friends are living paycheck to paycheck, and then you're the odd one out and you're starting to do well for yourself, your environment is going to hold you back there, because it's like, that's all you know. That's all you know. You think you're doing well and you're just happy with where you're at, and you just stop pushing for more because of your environment. I think environment is one of the biggest things about that. So, number one, it's an ego thing that holds them back. And the second type of person is just that they're in the wrong environment. They're surrounding themselves with the wrong people.
Yeah.
When I'm sat here with you guys, who are way more successful than me, that motivates me so much to just really continue to push harder and keep developing my skill set so that I can be like you guys, because that's my environment.
Yeah, sure.
I'm the odd one out. I need to get up. I need to fit in. I need to fit in my circle. If you fit in with your circle as a brokey, then you're not going to want to go beyond that and become successful.
No, even when I listen to you guys do content creation and I watch you guys, obviously I'm a noob in this space.
Level 1.
Well, yeah, level 1, exactly. And but when I see you guys talk to the camera or create scripts or X, Y, and Z, I'm like, whoa, that is the level of the game, that you want to get to. It's just you can always be a student in any environment.
100%, and that's how I felt. Like, I'm sure Temi can relate, when we were just watching you speak in front of your team in one of the offices that you consult. Well, I mean, I've been all across the UK with you, and just seeing it is like, damn, this is magic. It's sick, but it's second nature to you. And just wanted to rewind a bit and like, bro, we're all on the same level. But don't say that like you're trying to play catch up. Like, we all are specialists in our own field. Like, when it comes to appointment setting, I could say I'm shit compared to you. When it comes to personal branding, like, obviously that's my field. Yours is, but the thing that brings us all together, and I think kind of like the analogy that you gave when we were having our mastermind in the hotel. I still remember that clip. I remember it very vividly. You were like, oh, when you're in a street fight and 5 guys approach you and you're on your ones, who's going to win? I mean, unless you're Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
then
I mean, you can be a specialist in boxing.
Yeah.
You still get banged by 5.
You can still get banged by 5 guys with machetes, right?
Yeah.
But if you're with your boys and you're all like together and you create synergy, can't stop you. It's like burning the boats.
When you've got a team of 3 guys here, this guy stud when it comes to closing and direct sales, personal branding specialist, appointment setting and online sales specialist. When you have those 3 skill sets together, and we're competing against one guy that just knows how to do one thing really, really well, he's got his ego there. He doesn't feel like he needs any more people around him, because he thinks, oh yeah, I'm great at this one skill, I'm making this money. There's hungry guys out there that are diversifying their skills. They've got a team full of specialists in different industries. He's never going to be able to compete with us, no matter how good he is at that one thing, just because of the diversity of skills and the mindset of 3 minds coming together. Yeah, we're going to crush that.
It's a mastermind, essentially.
Yeah.
Now, the next topic I wanted to actually dive into was just like the lonely parts of entrepreneurship. I personally feel I'm a popular learner. I guess it's more of the online space, because we only met online, and the funny thing is we're both from the UK, and the first time that we met was in Switzerland on a mastermind trip, right? Yeah. And I feel like when I grew up in high school and college and went to uni, like I was kind of popular and I was known, but I don't have a best friend from day one, right? And when it comes to the online space, it can get very lonely, because you might not see wins for the longest time, and the people that you grew up with, they just don't understand if they're not from the same space. So how do you guys deal with it? But I know that we've had this conversation off camera, and you actually didn't feel that, because the direct sales space, you're always with team and they become your family.
People. I think that's the one thing I am very grateful for.
Yeah.
Is I am similar to you, really. I learn in populated environments. I learn from people, and I like being in social environments and networking. And I never felt lonely until I got to a point where I was like, where else do I learn from?
When you got to like regional consulting?
Yeah, when I got to like a point where I was managing like I got to a point where I was like number 1 in the UK with regards to sales, but there wasn't any other networks above me who was beating me in the space currently in the UK market. So I was like, where else do I go? Do I diversify? Do I go outside of the UK? It's just like, but then obviously the good thing is there's, no matter how good you are or how good you get, there's always someone beating you, you know. And I don't know, going back to being lonely, I think the one thing I am grateful for with being in direct sales is there's always someone who's done what you've done or been in the same situation as you that you can speak to and network with, and can give you advice.
Yeah, that's great about the direct sales space. But yeah, what about you, bro?
Genuinely, I think the door-to-door, even like when COVID hit, screwed me over, lost my sales job, lost my direct sales job, and that's when I was in a lonely place because I was grinding towards something, but I was by myself. I didn't have any friends at the time apart from my brother and my boxing coach. I was in a very lonely period, but genuinely, that was such a blessing for me because during that period, there was a lot of personal development for myself. I was just focused on gym, fighting, and appointment setting, just becoming a weapon basically. But also throughout that period of being lonely, how I think I dealt with it is that's when I started to build my relationship with God. I was an atheist my whole life, but throughout that lonely period, that's when I actually converted to Catholicism, and that's when I actually found God. So that brought me through that, genuinely, was religion. Religion brought me through that.
I love that. That's awesome. Because, I mean, I believe in God. You believe in God. I mean, us three are Catholics, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a beautiful thing because your vibe attracts your tribe, and we all have like common things within each other. And the most powerful thing about overcoming loneliness is just finding that tribe, finding that group of people that you can resonate with, and you hold each other accountable. You're all having ambitious goals, and you have a purpose in life. And I feel like the online space is amazing because if it wasn't for that, it would not have put me in positions where I can connect with you guys.
This whole room is built off personal branding.
Literally.
Right? We all connected through personal branding.
Yep.
Because that's the overpowered thing about personal branding is you're putting your values out there into the world, onto the internet. You're talking about your story, your values, your beliefs, and people can see where you're headed. So you attract people to you that resonate with you. You're literally like your perfect friends are going to see your content and like, oh wow, that guy is just like me. I want to be friends with that guy. And then you shoot me a message. We get on a call, and we're like, okay, now we're boys now. Perfect. We've got the same mission.
Yeah. And before I segue to the next topic, I just wanted to wrap it off with your environment is everything, because you create your own reality. Like your community is called Ideas into Reality. And with your environment, you're most likely not going to find those people like how we know each other now in your local hometown or wherever you were brought up, which is why like it's so important to just be open and willing to expand your environment, because you create the way in which you want to live. If you don't want to live a life of being in an office job, you don't have to. Find people that don't have a standard office job, you know what I mean? So yeah, the next thing is kind of should have been a topic we spoke about at the beginning, but how did we all meet each other? How are we here today?
Funny story. So do you want to say, actually? Do you want to say how you came across me?
So I was just on Instagram I'm a proper fiend. Instagram fiend.
Instagram fiend.
Who would have thought?
Instagram fiend. And I was looking for different options and stuff like that because obviously I was getting shat on online. And I was just saying, how can I actually improve my personal brand?
Just for context, how did you get shut online? What happened?
Basically, direct sales obviously has a bad name. Some of you guys that are watching this right now, you might have come across experiences in door-to-door or recruited into door-to-door the wrong way. And obviously, I was doing really well in Wales, left someone to run that office. They weren't doing the right things because obviously I was consulting that person. I got tainted under the same brush. And then, people were just chatting shit about me online.
Some bad press. Crazy.
Yeah, which is, I don't mind. It's all part of the story. And I'm actually kind of grateful for it anyway, doing it because it's led me to pushing myself to get online anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking online and I was seeing, I felt like I'd done a lot in direct sales, and I felt like I was valuable in that industry, in sales. So I saw a couple adverts from different people, and then I saw Temi's ad, and he was just talking about a topic. I don't even think it was anything to do with sales. It was just a topic. And I was like, this guy's a cool dude, man. So I think I followed you.
Yeah.
One of your appointment setters messaged me, like, what's up, bro? And I was like, how you doing? Didn't actually realise what an appointment setter was then. And then I was like, yeah, let's jump on a call. And then I jumped on a call with you. And then we just literally vibed straight away.
Yeah, mate, we was on that call for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
We was on that call for an hour and a half.
Yeah, an hour and a half, bro.
I remember doing my research before the call, like just checking out your IG and stuff. You didn't even have a profile picture, bro.
No, I didn't have a profile.
I had
Really?
no idea what to expect. You was a no profile picture, anonymous guy. Didn't know anything about you. And we got on the call, and I was like, oh, wow. We do the same thing, but you do it in direct sales, and I do it online. And it was just the dream team. We just resonated.
It was pretty bad, because
Yeah.
at that point, obviously, because I was getting so much negative online press, I wanted to just fly super incognito. You know, I was just like, I can't be bothered to deal with anything. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Can't be bothered with people just like comment, like adding me on Facebook and like adding me on Instagram and just giving me shit. You know, so I was like, you know what?
Lay low for a
I'm
bit.
just gonna fly low, incognito. I think I hired a PR company, and they're like a specialist in like crisis management, and they were literally saying to me, they're like, delete Instagram, okay? Like as soon as it comes out, as soon as everything comes out in the newspaper and everything, they're like, just like don't even go on any social media pages, don't even go on anything. I obviously didn't listen to their advice. And
Complete opposite.
Yeah, the opposite. I remember when the article came out and I was looking at the comments pages and I was like, oh. But some of it was quite entertaining though. I actually had some old school soldier dons, okay, that were commenting on that saying, well, if you didn't want to do a commission-based only job, then why did you stay? Why did you even do it? Which is a very fair point. Like,
I saw one of the comments. It was like, that guy does need a haircut though.
Oh yeah. Pretty funny, but we connected pretty much straight away.
Yeah.
You were in the process of building your appointment setter business. I'd obviously already built a direct sales business, and I have it across the UK. And I wanted to go online. You were online. You wanted to build a team. I built a team, and it was just a perfect cross-pollination.
So much sauce in that call. We were just giving each other value for an hour and a half. And that was it. The relationship was just built with us boys. And then you two Filipinos here. I was just with Jerome in Switzerland.
First time we met.
First time we ever met. We're sharing a room together in Switzerland.
It's expensive ass room, bro.
And yeah, like mate, I'm just on Instagram. I'm literally just on Instagram messaging Roel. And you was like asking about personal branding. And I was like, wait, hold on. I know I'm with someone right now who's a specialist in personal branding. I created a group chat on Instagram. I was like, Roel, meet Jerome. He's staying with me in Switzerland, expert at personal branding. And then you two was just like, oh, you're Filipino. And that was it, relationship built.
Yeah, because like you put as our first night a story up of us at dinner, and then you showed me the message. He's like, yo, that Don next to you is defo Filipino.
Yeah.
And then you connected us.
Yeah.
That is jokes.
And
You could just tell, can't you?
Yeah,
You could just tell.
And that's how this room is together, literally. Just the most random thing ever. You came across my yard. I happened to be in a room with you.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, that guy's Filipino, cool.
Do you know what's crazy actually? I'd actually seen you on Instagram before.
Really?
I'd seen you on Instagram before. I don't know whether it was an ad that you had, but I followed you anyway. I had you on Instagram before.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And I was like, oh, I'd love to chat to this guy. Do you know what I mean? I just had it in my head. I was like, I'd love to chat to this guy. I was like, he does personal branding. I was like, that's probably what I need. And then you were in Switzerland with him, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna message it. I was like, he's obviously gonna show him, and then boom.
That's crazy, because I remember we hopped on the call, and then I was in an office, and then my background was Tower Bridge, and I was like, where are you? And you're like, Liverpool Street. And then I was like, I got my laptop, flipped it, and I was like, you're across the river.
Yeah.
I was like, do you want to grab dinner tomorrow? And then you're like, yeah. And then we grabbed it. It was really good. You took me to that tapas Michelin star place.
Oh yeah, Bibo, unreal.
Bibo, sick. And then yeah, the rest is history. And then I went into the office next day.
And we literally started building from that.
We have.
One interesting thing is that like you're like literally like Drove's client now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are a little bit weird about like selling to their friends and stuff,
Yeah,
like high
sure.
ticket deals. But I think that's how the best relationships are built.
Yeah, sure.
Like genuinely, like if you've got business partners that you can make money together. Okay, I pay you for this, and it's like, okay, yeah, we're gonna build this together, and then okay, yeah, I need some services from you. Okay, what can we do a deal? And it's like literally just supporting each other, keeping the money within a circle. Like that's how a lot of religions build wealth, right?
Bro, I just got a flashback.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what you're thinking of, yeah.
So he had a call with his alpha set of boys, and then me and Prezian was on the call as just guests.
Just vibing.
Yeah, and the call was like 2 hours long, and then he was talking about what was the main topic? Because the picture was us three on a
It was
in
talking
London.
about different ways that you can scale past 6 figures as remote appointment setters, because there's a big misconception in the market that for some reason people think that you can't do 6 figures as an appointment setter. I'm like, well, why the hell not? Why wouldn't you be able to? People think that you make your first 3K a month and then you just become a closer. I'm like, well, there's appointment setters in direct sales that are doing 25 grand a month, SDRs, cold calling. So if we're dealing with warm leads and we get on good offers, there's no reason why we can't scale to 6 figures. And then in the end of the group call, yeah, we were just talking about like genuinely like how as a community, because my alpha setters, very strong community, how us as a community can we can all win together. We've got some guys in there that are good with content. We've got some guys in there that are like really in shape and they've got their own like little fitness programs or whatever. And I'm like, if you need to buy a fitness program, why are you going to go to some random guy online and pay him for a fitness program when one of our boys can help you with that? Why would you not pay your boys to do that? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of cultures, a lot of religions where it's like they'll only, okay, like let's say like a Sikh or a Muslim or a Jew, they'll be like, okay, if I need my car fixed, I'm not going to go to some random white guy and get my car fixed.
Yeah.
I'm going to pay another Sikh. I'm going to pay another Muslim.
Sure.
So that the Muslims stay, the income stays within the community. And that's
Yeah.
how they all build wealth together.
It's so funny, man. When I was getting my last office space in London, so I've got like a connection that just sorts me out, but he's part of the Irish community. So how it works is there's a couple different, like, I guess, tribes, or it sounds like the mafia actually, but there's like the Irish guys sell to the Irish guys, and then the Chinese guys sell to the Chinese guys, okay, and the Indian guys sell to the Indian guys, and whatever it is, the Jewish sell to the Jewish, okay, and that's how you can do some real deals, okay, and you can get some real good deals, okay, just from knowing someone within that community, you know, and yeah, it's nuts, man. It's just how the world works, though.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's the exact, it can be anyway, the exact same in the online space, right? And that's what we've got going on here. We're all just building an empire together. We're not competing against each other. It's not build an empire with the boys, not build our own empires, just build an empire with the boys. That's it. All win together.
Yeah.
And then it goes back to that 3v1 thing again.
Yeah.
We're working together on this.
Yeah, it's like that quote, 1 + 1 = 3 is synergy. Well, we have 1 + 1 + 1 = infinity then, I guess.
I've never heard that. I like that.
You don't know that? Damn.
I've never heard that, but I'm going to use that.
You know about synergy, right?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
No. Damn. Fair
You
use
come out with some great lines, mate.
Yeah,
the
that's
one
right.
line is that one.
The one-liners, let's
You
go.
should have a book of just Jerome
I should.
one-liners.
Jerovism. I'm gonna do that. But yeah, the reason why I was laughing is because of the way in which you described it and on your Miro board. Because Temi's famous for his drawings, and it was a very good illustration. And if you know, you know.
Yeah. It was a good illustration, but it'd probably get me cancelled. Yeah, we'll leave it there.
Yeah. But I mean, this has been a very productive chat. I feel like we've covered all bases around, you know, sales, business, and some purpose kind of stuff. So I feel like it'll be good to wrap this video up with the topic of what is your purpose? What keeps you driving forward, keep on working hard? And I think that would be a good way to end things.
Sure. I guess my goal throughout my whole life was just to become like the best version of me. And I love the Jim Rohn quote. and it was like, imagine, no, was it Jim Rohn? It was like, imagine you 10 years, in 10 years, imagine you in 10 years, or the 10-year-old version of you, would they be proud of the person you are today? And in 10 years, would you be proud of the person that you are then, or that you were today? And I just think about that all the time, man. And in a day-to-day basis, I try and win in as many factors as possible, okay? Whether that be relationship, business, health, any form of self-improvement, okay? So the overall goal is to become the best version of myself. And the only way to become the best version of yourself is to add value to everything that you can, any possible situation. So I guess that's my purpose.
I love it. I really resonate with that because I'm all about being the best version of yourself. And my purpose is, of course, I want to provide for my family because they sacrifice so much to bring us to the UK. And I don't think it's a good way to live life where you're just selfish.
Yeah.
I'm a big person that likes to give, big person that, wants to be very generous. And the only way you can be generous is providing value, and you need abundance. And I'm talking, obviously, monetary wealth and abundance in mindset, because when you have an abundance of everything, your life is abundant and opportunities just come that you can't even fathom. And I want to be able to leave this earth and be, like, for example, the reason why I take so much content is I'm afraid that one day I get Alzheimer's, I forget everything. At least I can watch this movie back one day. I'm like, damn, this guy's so cool. He lived a cool life. He's done cool things with cool people, and he's given back a lot. So, yeah, looking after the family, inspiring other people, and yeah, man, that's my purpose. And what about yourself, Temi?
I respect it, man. For me, I think it's literally ever since I got into sales, I've got an obsession with just collecting my sales infinity stones and just really mastering the skill of sales. Like, there's just so many levels to the game. You can never be too good at sales. Just getting better and better and better at sales. I know that on a long enough time frame, that's obviously going to make me money because your skills pay the bills. Becoming the type of man that God would be proud of.
Same.
And generally just building myself into a position where I can't just look after myself. I can now look after my future wife, my future 7 kids, and I can also position myself in a way where it's not just about me. I can also provide genuine opportunity to my tribe, to my boys, so that we can all eat.
Yeah.
Do you think that obviously all of those things, they're just a non-negotiable? Like in my head, I always think, I'm like, retiring my mum, okay, making sure my family has a good life. My businesses are killing it. All of these things are, like, in my head, it's just, it's there's not even a thought process or second guess of like, it's not even a goal. Does that make sense? It's just.
Yeah.
Do you feel that way?
Yeah, 100%.
I do. If I was to just break down my goal, obviously I've got a special project right now called Project 300. But if I was to zoom out, like, okay, why does Project 300 mean anything to me? Why am I so passionate about Project 300? Why am I so passionate about building these sales skills? The fundamental behind that is like, those non-negotiables right there. As men, I think we're all born with that instinct to want to look after our tribe because that is our job as men, right? That's our responsibility. That's our God-given duty to look after the people around us.
Yeah, definitely. And the reason why I wanted to ask that is because for those that are watching right now, there's more to life than making money, materialism, and living that hedonistic lifestyle and fulfilling your darkest desires. And when you have a purpose that's bigger than you, that's bigger than yourself, it will really allow you to live an impactful life and have good impact on other people as well. So find that why, because when shit hits the fan and you go through those dark days where it feels like the whole world is against you, at least you know why you're going through that pain, and what will help you get through that pain is just getting clear on that vision, reminding yourself of that, and reminding yourself that it's all part of the story. And everyone here has a unique story, so leverage it. And that's it for me. So it's been a pleasure speaking with you guys. And I'm going to decide that's going to be my first podcast interview, to be honest. Like this whole
This is
video.
the official
This is
start
the official
of the
start.
Leverage Creators Podcast.
Yeah, it would be rude not to. It would
Sure.
be very rude not to. So it's been a pleasure having you on, guys. And yeah, please check out Roel Mojico. Please check out Temi Lowery. If you don't know me already, check out the link in the description below. All of our socials are going to be linked there. All of our communities are going to be linked there as well, because it's all about building empires.
Yeah, we've all
with
got
the
a free.
boys.
All of us have got our own free community that they can go and join
Yeah.
if they want to tap into our own individual skills, right?
Exactly.
So if you resonate with this, if you want to learn from us three, we've all got a free school community. You can come in, you can come and say hi to us in our calls that we run weekly. You can come and watch our content that we're posting on YouTube. So we're going to be providing a lot of value to you boys. So make sure, click the links below and that genuinely check it out. Like don't just watch this video passively.
Yeah.
Take something from this video. We've identified that sales is the most powerful skill that you can learn.
Mm-hmm.
So go and learn, boys.
Exactly. And we're not excluding any girls from our end, mine and Roel's. So just a heads up. No, I'm just saying. I don't want them to feel like, oh, it's only for the boys.
Yeah.
For yours, it's
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
That's just my language now.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I guess this is a good way to announce it. Surprise announcement for both of you guys. I think we should host a mastermind.
I think that'd be golden, man. I think that'd be cool.
It would be quite rude not to.
I'm always down for a mastermind, mate.
Yeah, so by the time this is out, I'm going to try to get this video out in the next few days. We're going to discuss off camera. We're going to host an event somewhere, probably London.
London, yeah.
Yeah,
Obviously,
London.
Yeah.
And let's do it before you dip to Australia, bro.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Because you can get your guys, I'll get some of my guys, you get your guys. It'll be sick.
Sweet.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. And as always, stay hydrated, stay motivated, stay blessed.
Keep
Deuces.
grinding.
Peace out.